All right, welcome to English for You. I'm Kat.
And I'm Rainbow.
And today we are talking about something really fascinating, which involves very small things. So the first thing we want to discuss that might lead us into our topic is some exhibitions or like galleries. So Rainbow, what are your favorite artists and museums? Why do you like them?
I probably most remember the MoMA in New York.
I've been there too.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I love it because there's a lot of really big exhibitions. Like there's probably my Jeff Koons, was it? Was that his name?
Yeah, Jeff Koons.
One with the blow-up balloons.
Yeah, like a giant balloon dog.
Yeah, the giant balloon dogs. And there's like, Takashi Murakami is a Japanese artist, and he has a mural of dragon anime type art, and it's really fascinating. It takes up like the entire wall space of a room. And I like exhibitions that are big and interactive.
Yeah, those are really fun. I think of like the MoCA in Taipei, which is really fun too. But actually the first museum I thought of, my favorite is the Borghese in Rome. So it's like total opposite of modern art, where they have all of these old paintings by Caravaggio, who's my favorite Renaissance painter, and these statues by, I think it's Bernini, that are just so beautiful. And he brings the marble to life. So totally opposite of MoMA, but it's really great. And so we're actually going to talk today about a contemporary artist from Japan like Murakami, right?
Yeah, and we're going to talk about all the different details and the little scenes that creates. And actually, it's called a miniature life exhibition. So let's find out more about this.
Okay.
Reading.
The Tiny World of Tatsuya Tanaka. Have you ever imagined your broccoli as a tree? You're not alone. The photographer Tatsuya Tanaka is good at making daily occurrences into funny little scenes. What's more, he's back in Taiwan for a new exhibition, Miniature Life Exhibition. Last year, Tanaka made a splash in the art world with his photographs and models of miniature scenes. The Japanese artist's latest displays also use normal objects to create these artistic works, which capture the humor of daily life. The Miniature Life Exhibition is made up of more than 150 works, including more than 40 3D models and 100 photographs. The subjects include sports, travel, adventure, and nature. Some of them are limited edition works, created specifically to show Taiwan's culture and ways of life. One of these photos features people bathing in a hard-boiled egg hot spring. Another shows a winter scene of people climbing up a bamboo steamer to reach a steamed dumpling mountain. Don't miss the opportunity to observe the special works of Tanaka's Miniature Life Exhibition. You can enjoy the exhibition at Huashan 1914 Creative Park.
All right, so we're going to start with our article. The very first sentence is, have you ever imagined your broccoli as a tree?
All the time.
Oh my gosh. So broccoli, what is broccoli? Now, broccoli is this green plant that kind of looks like a flower, and it's part of the cabbage family. So the head is like a large flower, and I think in America, we often eat it as a part of a salad, but here it's like fried or stir-fried with squid or something like that. Broccoli is really good for you. It can actually help to prevent cancer and reduce your cholesterol, and it's really good for antioxidant, which is an anti-aging property and has lots of different vitamin C's.
Interesting. I didn't know all that. I actually like broccoli, so I'm glad that I learned that about this healthy food that I like.
Me too.
Yeah. So if you've ever imagined your broccoli as a tree, like I said, you're not alone. And that's what the article says too. So the photographer田中達也is good at making daily occurrences into funny little scenes. So it sounds like probably he imagines his broccoli as trees a lot. Yeah, maybe he looks at very small things. And here we're talking about a phrase, be good at doing something. That means you can do something very easily. Like if you're good at drawing, that means your drawings are good and you can easily do them. Maybe you spent a long time practicing to do them, but now you're very good at it. Another way to say this is somebody has a talent for something, which means they are naturally good at that or they are gifted at something. So an example of this would be my mother is very good at teaching because she's been a teacher for more than 30 years.
Wow.
She's retired now, but yeah. Okay. So, and another word that we see in this sentence is daily occurrences. So what are occurrences? Occurrence is a noun and it just means something that happens. Things that happen in every day are daily occurrences. And other ways to say occurrences might be like matters, situations, different circumstances, and so on and so forth. So we can say daily situations, daily things that happen every day. So the verb of occurrence is occur, if you ever want to use that. Okay, so go on with the article. What are we talking about with Tanaka's work? All
right, so it says, what's more, he's back in Taiwan for a new exhibition, the miniature life exhibition. Ooh, so we mentioned this miniature. So miniature kind of sounds like the word mini. So we know mini is very small and miniature is a longer version of the word very small. So it's much smaller in scale or size. It's very little. Sometimes we talk about miniature figures that people collect. Sometimes it can be very expensive and little Legos or miniature Legos or nano Legos or smaller than real life. So miniature is used as an adjective, and a little bit of a more formal term that we talk about is a sport that's called miniature golf. So if you play golf, you know that it's such a large field and it takes up a lot of space. But miniature golf is a very small golf course that's smaller than the regular one. So we have a miniature life exhibition, which means maybe your life is all really, really tiny. So let's see and find out what's that all about.
So, okay. Last year, Tanaka made a splash in the art world with his photographs and models of miniature scenes. Okay, so it sounds like he's not been doing this too long, but he suddenly became very popular. And that's what our phrase, make a splash, is about. It means Tanaka, he stirred up something big. He got a lot of attention from people all at one time. He suddenly became very famous with people in the art world. This comes from the verb splash, of course, which is where you jump in the water or you hit the water and it goes up all around you like psh. Yeah, it's hard not to see somebody who's making a splash. And actually, this is our pocket phrase go for today. So let's go check it out.
Pocket phrase go! Hey partner, remember me? 我就是小朋友的最佳搭档警长无敌啦。Well, I was the favorite toy until that toy buzz made a splash in every toy store. 那个可恶的巴士光年突然爆红以后，我的主人马上把它买回家，现在都不玩我啦。Make a splash, I can do that too. Well, splash 就是溅起水花。Make a splash 就是像是在平静的水面上用石头激起水花一样，突然引起所有人注意，所以就是代表一举成名、一炮而红的意思。我们同样也可以用来形容一炮而红的片语是 overnight success， 例如 At the age of 12, Justin Bieber became an overnight success. 没错，贾斯汀比伯12岁之后一炮而红。Well, I made a splash when my cartoon was on every channel. Every kid wanted me as their partner. 想当年我也是小孩最爱的玩具呢，我才不会那么容易就被那个小毛头巴士光年比下去呢。
All right, so the next part of the article says the Japanese artist's latest displays also use normal objects to create these artistic works, which capture the humor of daily life. So this is kind of a very long sentence, and it's talking about normal objects. Now, normal means something regular, so something that occurs naturally or happens all the time. So when we talk about normal objects, we're talking about things that we use in daily life, like a cup, a spoon, maybe a backpack or a fan, something that we see in everyday life. So when we talk about normal, we can also use phrases such as normal working hours, which are your normal 9-to-5 jobs. Having a normal childhood is not too much trauma or serious things happening, not moving too many times. It's just kind of regular. And a normal aging pattern is like not getting too old too quickly, but what happens mostly with everybody. And so we have the word normal, and the opposite of that is abnormal. So abnormal is something that we don't want to have, because if you have an abnormal kind of tumor or something as like a medical condition, it's something that people would be concerned about. Okay, so I have a sentence for you. I would like to work at normal working hours so that I can sleep regularly. So this is saying if I have a work at 9 to 5, then I can go to bed around maybe 10 or 11, and it's always a normal or a regular schedule. So here it says we have normal objects that are creating works, and it captures humor of daily life, and capture is something that we'll talk about next.
Yeah, but actually before that, I think we need to say what in the world is artistic. So artistic works are what Tanaka creates, and this is an adjective that means it's like art. It doesn't mean that it is art, but it could be like art. I think in his case, it is art, but we're also saying that it makes you think of art. It's another way to say something is creative, or it makes you think of new ideas or interesting artworks. Somebody who is artistic has to think creatively and have a sense of how to do art. So films and dances and even things that aren't art can be artistic if they're like art. So here's an example of that. Sherry's birthday cake was very artistic. It was made to look like one of Vincent van Gogh's famous paintings.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sherry's really good at her artwork.
Well, or whoever made her cake is, for sure. Yeah. I've actually seen some painting cakes before like that, and they're really cool. Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to eat them.
No, I wouldn't either. So using these normal objects in an artistic way, and he captures something. So capture is a verb. It doesn't mean usually it could mean taking someone or taking something, or maybe taking a photo, like capturing a photo. But in this case, it means more like he was successful at getting the feeling of what he wanted to do, or he described something very well. Not just with words, but with his pictures, with his images. And Tanaka's photographs give great descriptions of how funny life can be every day, just by looking at them. You can also capture a moment this way by recording it in writing, on video, and a picture so that you can remember it later. So here's another example for you. F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel, The Great Gatsby, really captures what life was like in the U.S. in the 1920s.
Oh, such a great novel and great movie, too.
Yes, it is. And it gives you this feeling of like what life was like back then. So it really captures that. Okay. So what exactly is in this exhibition then?
All right. So the next sentence says, the miniature life exhibition is made up of more than 150 works, including more than 40 3D models and 100 photographs. Wow. That's a lot of different artwork. So we have the phrase, the verbal phrase is made up of. So when we're saying this exhibition is made up of more than 150 works, it means it includes or consists of. So we can say that many different parts or different paintings make up a whole. So in this case, the whole exhibition makes up the many different parts. So we can say, you know, in our lives, our life is made up of many little things. So life is made up of little things like little memories, a meal, you know, sunshine, having ice cream, or a good day at the park. They're just small things that make up our lives. Okay. Or you can also say the committee is made up of 7 people. So the committee is a group of people who make important decisions. There are 7 people in it. Or we can also say the committee is composed of 7 people, or consists of 7 people, or contains 7 people. So basically is composed of, consists of, contains. They're just different ways to describe the phrase made up of.
Okay, so let's see. What are these things made up of? The subjects include sports, travel, adventure, and nature.
Wow.
Oh, so they must have things like maybe people doing tennis or skiing or something like that, or visiting different places. And maybe he uses those broccoli trees we were talking about to show some nature forests. I'm not sure. So some of them are limited edition works created specifically to show Taiwan's culture and ways of life. That's really cool because he's a Japanese artist, but he created some of these pieces specifically to show Taiwan's way of life. So what are we talking about with limited edition? So edition here is a noun that talks about the number of copies of something or the number of just something that are made at the same time. So Tanaka's photographs and models might come with only a few or just only one copy. That means these are limited edition. Limited means it stops somewhere. They'll probably never be made again. Every time a new round of copies goes out for something else, it's a new edition of that thing. Although the first edition is usually the most valuable for things to collect, like first edition cards or first edition books, something like that. So here's an example for you. Since her copy of the book The Wizard of Oz was a first edition, Kim thought she might be able to sell it for a lot of money.
Oh, expensive.
Yeah, so something limited edition you could also sell for a lot of money, or just be worth a lot of money if you want to keep it.
Yeah. All right. So in the same sentence, we also have the word specifically. So it says that these works are created specifically to show Taiwan's culture and ways of life. So specifically is exactly, or indicating exact purpose or use of something. So in this case, it's just especially targeting the ways and cultures of life. So these are special works created in order to show Taiwanese culture from the eyes of a Japanese artist. So I have a sentence for you with the word specifically. The new show is aimed specifically at a female audience. So what it means is the special audience, or the purpose of the show, is designed for only females.
So it's basically something that women would be interested in, something like that. So that means that Tanaka's works in this show are something that Taiwanese people would be interested in.
Right.
Yeah, or people who like Taiwan, maybe. Okay, so one of these photos, we find some examples of them. One of these photos features people bathing in a hard-boiled egg hot spring. Oh, that sounds so cute. So they're like in a cut-in-half egg. I've seen the picture. It looks like an egg cut in half. They're inside the yellow part, like having a bath.
It's so cute.
They're so tiny because you know how big an egg must be, so they're just very, very small. Yeah. Another shows a winter scene of people climbing up a bamboo steamer to reach a steam dumpling mountain.
Oh, it's so cute.
Wow. Yeah.
It's creative.
If a dumpling like a baozi can be like a mountain, that could be, really, really small. Yeah. Like an ant. Okay. So what is a steamer, though? Well, steamers, especially in Taiwan, are something you see a lot. If you go to a night market or your mom makes steamed food, whenever you want to make something like baozi or steamed dumplings, you use this bamboo basket that has two parts to it. It has a bottom and it has a top. So you put it on top of some boiling water, and the hot water underneath turns into steam, and it goes through the holes in the basket, cooks the food. So since it uses steam to cook, the basket is called a steamer.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Well, last sentence says, don't miss the opportunity to observe the special works of Tanaka's miniature life exhibition. So don't miss the opportunity, which means you definitely have to go because it's awesome and it's rare that he comes to Taiwan. And here it says we're observing the special works. So when we're observing something, it basically means watching really carefully. So observation is the noun form. This is often informal. Just means paying attention to something for its details. Now, but if it's a formal observation, sometimes we can be talking about like a scientific experiment or maybe a report that you have to write. Now, observation can also be information that has been collected. So in this case, when we're observing these special works, it means look at them really carefully and pay attention to all the cool details and the creativity that he's put into this exhibition. All right, so an example for you. The psychologist observed the behavior of her patients daily. So that means she's watching them very carefully, seeing how their actions change and what they're feeling.
Okay, so you can enjoy the exhibition at Huashan 1914 Creative Park.
I love that place.
Me too. And I think it's going to be there until early March. So definitely get in there and don't miss it. So that's all the time we have for our article. Let's go ahead and go to our For You chat.
For You chat.
All right, welcome to our For You chat. Today's chat question is, what kind of scene would you create using ordinary objects and why?
I had to think about this one. I used to do this when I was in school for like different projects and things like that. The first thing that comes to mind is I think it would be fun to kind of use some junk I have lying around my house that I don't really want anymore or need anymore and make a scene out of it. Maybe like...
Ooh, what kind of stuff?
I don't know, some old pencils that don't work, and maybe I'll make a pencil forest. Just some very tall pencils, and maybe, a very tiny animal or very tiny human can frolic around in the forest and have fun.
Yeah. I actually
you?
really like small things too. Like I've always really liked paper clips.
Oh, there you go.
So when I was in elementary school, I would make what did I make out of paper clips? I think I made like a bridge or something. And we had a project in school. We used popsicle sticks to make like some kind of cart or something, or like a plane. I couldn't remember.
We did that too. We actually used it to make a structure, I remember.
Yeah.
Probably a bridge like the paperclip one you talked about.
Yeah. And then you could see if like it falls apart or something, like put eggs on it or something like that.
How much can it hold?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that you guys have lots of small things lying around, either at your house, at school. Maybe you can find some like little rocks or something out in nature. If you want to play with them and do some experiments, maybe build something like Tatsuya Tanaka, then you can try and do this with your friends and chat about what you would like to do. So that's all the time we have. I'm Kat.
And I'm Rainbow.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
The Tiny World of Tatsuya Tanaka. Have you ever imagined your broccoli as a tree? You're not alone. The photographer Tatsuya Tanaka is good at making daily occurrences into funny little scenes. What's more, he's back in Taiwan for a new exhibition, Miniature Life Exhibition. Last year, Tanaka made a splash in the art world with his photographs and models of miniature scenes. The Japanese artist's latest displays also use normal objects to create these artistic works, which capture the humor of daily life. The Miniature Life Exhibition is made up of more than 150 works, including more than 40 3D models and 100 photographs. The subjects include sports, travel, adventure, and nature. Some of them are limited edition works, created specifically to show Taiwan's culture and ways of life. One of these photos features people bathing in a hard-boiled egg hot spring. Another shows a winter scene of people climbing up a bamboo steamer to reach a steamed dumpling mountain. Don't miss the opportunity to observe the special works of Tanaka's Miniature Life Exhibition. You can enjoy the exhibition at Huashan 1914 Creative Park.
Vocabulary Review.
Normal. It is pretty normal for a couple to have arguments from time to time. Artistic. The paint and interesting patterns on the walls make this house seem very artistic. Capture. As an artist, Henry is good at capturing the beauty of everyday moments. Edition. This book has sold so well over time that the 6th edition will be coming out next year. Specifically, football players wear a mask that is specifically designed to prevent them from getting injured. Observe. Frank really likes insects and spends a lot of time observing them in the forest near his house.